Drag. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning into the stream. My name is Hector, and I'm one sleepy giant. And sorry about that last few seconds of silence. I was just getting everything turned on over here. But today's kind of a big day, I guess, because I just realized when I was going over my, my profiles and stuff, I realized today is officially 1 year since I announced I was coming back to Twitch, because I took an almost 2-year hiatus, which was kind of crazy to think about. And there's been a lot that I dealt with and have since dealt with before and after coming back, and it's just been like a really crazy year. And I just figured, kind of just like put a little attention on it, and just to like say thank you ahead of time to everybody who was like really supportive of when I came back. And I've just been happy to be here since. So with that being said, I'm gonna start off getting back into Black Myth Wukong today, because I kind of just want to be able to stick to doing Gundam Breaker when I play with Migs, because we've been kind of co-oping that story. So I'll do this for a little while. I'm not sure if he's even going to make it on tonight, but if he makes it on, then we'll continue Gundam Breaker then. In the meantime, let's see what kind of trouble I can get into here. Yeah, I think me too, for real. Nah, you were a big help, Julian. You were, like, not to sound cheesy, but like you were definitely really crucial when I came back, and really helpful. And you helped out with like taking on the temp mod job just to help out when I first started back up, and I really appreciate everything you did for me and continue to do for me, bro. Like, again, I'm not trying to sound all mushy and shit. It's just, it was crazy when I saw that, because then like I just like I felt like that was a lot longer ago than it was. Kind of crazy, man. Time be weird like that. It feels like it has been longer. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When I was like, only 1 year? Damn. Oh, I remember what I was doing when I ended up here. Damn. Alrighty then. So someone gifted you this game? I think you mentioned it before, didn't you? You didn't have the heart to tell him how disinterested you were in it? Oh, that's a shame. Shit. Mostly because boss rush games just aren't your thing. That's fine. Understandable. Everybody has their taste. I've generally been enjoying it, aside from the technical stuff I've already mentioned ad nauseum when I was starting to play it. It looks mad cool, though. It is one of the best looking games I've seen in a minute. The only thing that kind of diminishes like that sort of compliment to me is it sucks that so much focus was placed on making it look good that they didn't focus on other aspects of environmental design, like all the invisible walls or there not being a map and things like that. But that aside, I have been enjoying the game. It's just like little annoyances like that make the game kind of feel longer than it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? Also, 100 hours later and about a week and a half later, I'm caught up to Warframe. Oh shit. That boy was invested. What's up, Indy? How you doing? Uh-oh. The gaze. Wow, that's a crazy out of context soundbite. Fuck! Exhausted from today's job? Oh shit. Did it pay good? Dragon Age Frosty's registration goes up and Dragon Age 4 finally drops. Uh-oh. This is a descendant of Sun Wukong, right? Not Sun Wukong himself. It's like implied to be like a reincarnation or something like that. They just call him the Destined One. And the whole point is like him trying to collect the 6 relics that Wukong left behind when he died to basically recreate him. Oh, you son of a bitch. Sorry, just had a message. Bro, the stick drift on this controller is driving me nuts. running sets when Terry drops? I've actually gotten a small itch to play. Yes, of course we're running sets when Terry drop. I already said it, but I'm probably going to be playing Street Fighter that whole week. Oh, why would they do that to me? Hold on 1 second. Oh, what the fuck was that? Dog, I was so, like, taken aback because somebody was calling me, so I kept looking all over the place. I didn't even see what the hell happened. Oh, what a lie. See, I'm not even doing that shit. The controller just goes up on its own. Okay. are you talking about, bro? Okay, we made it up here better than the last time. Yo, what's up, Shadon? Fuck! I jinxed it. Playing some Wukong as well? Nice. You've entered the Sandland. Oh, I don't know if you... Jesus Christ. I don't know if you were here for the beginning, like when I had my starting soon screen up and all that, but they released the full version of Terry's theme for Street Fighter 6, and I was playing it on the starting soon. Jesus, this stick jump is terrible right now. You've been watching some Space Marines 2 content? Word. It's been getting good reviews. Game got me hyped. Yeah, ignore PC Gamer. They must have been high or are giving bad reviews for views. I mean, I don't really read PC Gamer when it comes to reviews. No, like, bias or anything, but they're not usually my first look at an outlet. And sometimes I just go to, like, Metacritic, because Metacritic is basically is literally just Rotten Tomatoes for games. But, you know, at least when I go there, I can see multiple people's point of view, get a lot of different opinions. LOL, they gave it a 6 out of 10, but they gave Gollum a 64. Any game scoring less than Gollum is crazy, I'm not even gonna lie. But also, is it like the same reviewer? Because, like, you gotta, like, I don't know for a fact, but you got to remember sometimes with these outlets, it's like different people on the games, but under the same umbrella. That's not a defense of that score, though, mind you. Just saying. Was it the same guy on both games? Oh, I don't know. I've been listening to the rumor mill, so grain of salt, I guess. Yeah. But no, that is a crazy score. That's actually absolutely wild. And it's funny, we're talking about reviews now, right? I saw that, like, this isn't a video game thing, but also I've seen that the new Joker movie is getting reviews, and it's very mixed, and some people are very negative on it. And when I saw that, I also saw people just going, oh, the critics hate it? It must be actually good then. And I'm just like, we gotta stop saying shit like that, because we don't be having the same conversations that critics have. Well, not we. I actually try to critique stuff, but, like, a lot of people don't be having the same conversations. They just be like, oh, well, I liked it anyway, and, like, they don't think further past that. But I don't know. I was just never that excited for that Joker movie. I don't care if Lady Gaga's in it. That's the issue I have with all these official review sites. A bad score can be the result of several factors. For them, it's just business that they just get the review out, but you also got to take into account some of these reviewers are probably playing game genres they aren't really fond of. Yeah, that too. I actually give credence to that, because sometimes people just get stuck on things and it's not really their bag, so they're trying to apply logic that may or may not fit one-to-one. Square block, circle, hole thing. But I also think about it in the sense that sometimes I'm not trying to defend any places like IGN or whatever, but sometimes I feel like people also get, like, extremely negative just for the fact that the game they want, again, hear that again, the game they want to be good isn't exactly being received well. It's like I said, some of these people will be like, oh, if the critics hated it, it must be good. And it's like, yo, they get paid to actually point out when some things are wrong. Doesn't mean they're always right, but hey, you don't got to automatically discount that just because it's like, oh well, I was excited for this thing, so that like I don't think your opinion counts. But also, that is a very valid point because I've just I've seen like loads of takes. We're looking at Black Myth, right? And in Black Myth Wukong, like everybody talks about that Screen Rant review where the person who reviewed it was like, "There's no diversity in this game," and it was like the most out of place comment on this game ever. There was plenty of other shit to criticize. You know what I'm saying? These days, I just take whatever reviews I hear, see, or read with a grain of salt. My thing is, again, this is me. I can't speak for everybody. But since I do try to review things on my own time, and I don't necessarily want to be like a professional critic or whatever the hell, I guess I do pay attention to some more of like the behind the curtain stuff and some more of like these finer details that a lot of people just like gloss over and be like, oh, it's not that big a deal. So sometimes I guess I'm seeing it from that angle and being like, oh, well, they kind of got a point sometimes. And I'm not like as harsh on them as a lot of people usually are. I definitely point out when I think some things are dumb. But it's funny how all this is just stemming from the fact that they scored Space Marine 2 worse than like PC Gamers scored Space Marine 2 worse than the Lord of the Rings Gollum. I think there will never be a harder self-served L than that. But like I said, I usually sometimes, a lot of the time, when a game comes out, I'll look at Metacritic or something like that and see what, you know, the aggregate score is, rather than like, you know, going super in depth and reading a million opinions, especially if I haven't played the thing yet, because I don't want those opinions to influence me. I kind of, like you said, it's a little bit of grain of salt, but I kind of just take it and instantly go, oh, this must be all right then, and then I'll play it and figure it out for myself. True, but their review copies are also pre-day one patches and all that stuff, right? Usually, yes. But also, from my experience, usually when they get review copies, any pre-planned patches are usually already given and things like that. Not always. But at the same time, you know, not every game has a day one patch. Just because that's a more common thing these days doesn't mean that's 100% of the time. So things they encounter that cause them to rate it a bit more negatively may not even be an issue anymore. Well, that's the thing too, because no one review is objective, and it's already like a very clear thing that not all of the time do reviews age perfectly well. You know, we could talk about like, let's just, you know, talk about like a high profile case, right? Let's talk Cyberpunk. It's like when that game came out, loads of people were reviewing the game based off of what it could be, or like what they saw it as, rather than reviewing it for what it was in the moment, and then waiting until it actually got good to be like, see, it was always good. And it's like, no, that's not true. So going by that same token, it's like you don't always try to go too hard on the first opinion, especially like when it's people like us who don't do this like professionally for a living. Like you said, I take a lot of it with a grain of salt, and I usually don't lean too hard into any opinions either way. Like sometimes I just like skip straight to scores or look at the average, and then I kind of base that usually off of like whether or not I think it would be worth the investment to play something, and then I kind of figure out my own opinions. But also, that's also why a lot of my reviews don't come out in like the same day, week, sometimes not even month that a game came out, because I'll sit and fully digest a game before I feel like reviewing it. A lot of these people, it's kind of their job, and everybody has to get it done within a certain time frame, so there is a little bit of a truth to the fact that maybe it was rushed or maybe people didn't sit down with it all the time. But when people do stuff like this for their job, you kind of get the sense that they do it enough to where they can sort of like try to optimize like how they go about a lot of that stuff. Not saying it's always right. It's just the kind of thing where you kind of just gotta realize maybe like what you think is a fast pace might be the norm for a lot of other people. Right, hype plays a big part. It bumps up expectations, and Cyberpunk had a ton of hype. Makes sense. Time constraints can be rough at times. And, you know, that's not always the reviewer themselves' fault. It might be a company thing. It might be pressure to, because they were given review copies, it might be pressure to get things out faster because, you know, they don't want to end up in, like, on anybody's shit list. And, you know, there's outlets, like, we can talk about Kotaku all day and how shitty they are most of the time, and I remember when Tears of the Kingdom was coming out, they started like trying to shit talk Nintendo, talking about they got blacklisted and didn't get review copies. So next thing you know, they were publishing articles about how ROM leaks already came out and shit, and like shitty things like that. That's that's like not the way to go about it. And it is unfortunate that maybe because people only have a certain time frame to work on things, they might not see everything we see, and clearly not all the time do they get the type of time to, you know, invest in it that we do. I still think whether or not we agree with everything that happens in a lot of those reviews, if you feel strongly about how something is scored or like what the general consensus is about it, I feel like you should, this is kind of like a general rule for me, but I feel like sometimes maybe you should step back and kind of like, instead of reacting, try to look at what they're saying and see if personally your thoughts line up with theirs. See if you don't automatically dismiss what they're talking about and try to give it some credence, at least until you feel like your opinion differs. Because a lot of people are like incredibly reactionary. Sometimes these people get so mad just over a score rather than paying attention to anything they're talking about. And that's why, like, again, it's not to defend IGN, but so many people get mad about IGN giving games 7s. And yeah, they give a lot of games 7s, right? But I don't know why people get mad about that shit. Like, when did we start acting like a 7 out of 10 was a bad thing? People start talking about that shit like, oh, if the game was rated 7 out of 10, it must be fucking mid. It's like, no, actually, that's kind of decent. Like, not every game is a fucking 10 out of 10 masterpiece, and I don't think every game should be. I could have totally been a hype beast for this game right here, Wukong, because for years now, this has been one of my most looked forward to games. And when I saw the reviews coming out, I paid attention to a lot of what they were talking about, and I absolutely see what they're talking about, and I agree with a lot of it. But now, there's a part of me that wants to be like, I don't give a fuck what PC Gamer's talking about. Scoring, like, I don't care who on the team reviewed the game. Reviewing that game lower than Gollum is, like, revoked. Or be me. I don't engage in video game conversation outside of friends. I am free, thriving in my own lane. Well, I can't do that because clearly I encourage having these conversations since I do review games on my own time, and usually people tend to ask me what I think about things, and I'll voice it and actually engage in this dialogue. Now, what I don't do is argue with people on Twitter. I don't give a fuck what we talking about. I'm not arguing with you. Same problem with schools, TBH. If it's not a 90, you ain't good enough. Bruh, C is supposed to be average. There's a joke in there that I'm not going to lean into. But yeah, I don't know. Like, whatever they left, I guess. You want this? Like, Manny, sorry. I'm just having a conversation with the stream real quick. We were talking about reviews and shit like that. But true or false? Like, hear me out here. You think of a big company like IGN, right? And you know how they always review all these new games that just came out and all this other shit. And you see people online all the time always like, oh, IGN scores every game a 7. They're so trash. Is 7 out of 10 not supposed to mean it's just good?
Word. 7 out of 10 is good.
But then everybody be like,
on the shit that you're rating it on, like you can't just be like, oh no, this game is a 10 out of 10 because then it's perfect. Where does it? There's no room for improvement.
I just said that. I was like, why does every game got to be a 10 out of 10? Why are you acting like it's because it was called 7 out of 10? It's trash. Exactly. And it's like, yeah, like IGN obviously rates a lot of games fucking 7, but first of all, you think about the fact that they got mad people under there that review games, not the same guy on every fucking game.
And all the games are the same genre anyway, and most of them are all like different variations of the same fucking game anyway. They all have the same concept and same premise.
No, but like
different fucking story.
Not even
so
always.
There's a lot of stuff to like judge it against.
Yeah, and it's like not even then. It's just the fact that, you know, like not every game is on some AAA shit. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm not even talking about
indies.
Enjoy
the game for what the fuck it is.
No, but even then, I'm just saying it's like not even just talking about like, you know, like indie shit or whatever the fuck. It's just like, you know, sometimes there's publishers that like we know who they are. They don't always make masterpieces. It's like, when the fuck did we start acting like THQ games had to be 10 out of 10?
Word.
Like,
that ass. Them shits was fire.
But you know, like, and then I see people in the comment section all the fucking time. They're always just like, IGN so trash. They rate everything 7. I'm like, look, I ain't even trying to stick up for IGN, but it's like, why is 7 out of 10 a bad thing?
Give those same people a chance to make their own video game, and then, you know,
yeah,
we'll see how their opinion changes.
But also, the reason I was thinking about this is because one of my friends in the chat just mentioned there's a new Warhammer game coming out, Space Marine 2. Mm-hmm. It's getting a lot of good reviews from a lot of places. But there's one outlet called PC Gamer. Mm-hmm. They're like one of the more well-known ones. They scored it like, huh? They scored the game like 6 out of 10, which is crazy because that Lord of the Rings Gollum game that everybody said is like the worst game ever made, they gave it 64 out of 100. So that means they scored Space Hammer 2 worse than Gollum. That started this conversation. I was just like, that's crazy, but
that's definitely crazy because that Gollum was basically that game straight.
Ooh.
The cat that you fought, you just.
Ooh.
That's Gollum.
That's a bar. I didn't play either game, but only reason I know people gave a fuck about Stray is because, oh my god, it's a cat.
It's a cat, and you get to play as a little kitty cat.
I'm a dog person anyway, but
Gollum.
I'm a dog person anyway, but fuck it.
Shit, you gotta run around the map without getting caught.
I don't even know what the fuck you do in that game for real. It's just like I just feel like
you should Google it real quick or watch a little fucking YouTube.
No, I've seen the videos, but like I'm kind of saying like I don't have the first-hand experience. But
you know
still,
those games that's like a puzzle game that you gotta like guide the light to the end of the fucking puzzle.
But still, regardless,
that.
I just feel like any game getting rated below Gollum is like a sin. Like, who woke up and decided to choose violence like that? Yeah. Anyway, enjoy the pizza. Sorry, yeah. I don't know, one of the few times me and my brother agree on shit, or at least we can joke about it. At the end of the day, if you're enjoying your time with a game, then that's good enough. Exactly. That's got to be like a you thing, and that's perfectly fine. Everybody enjoys different things. I also feel like, especially because everything has to have discourse these days on the internet, too many people take different like dissenting or different opinions as personal attacks. It's kind of weird a little bit. Like, not everything has to be about you. Like, sometimes we're just trying to have, like, real conversations about the shit. And you can enjoy things, but I feel like, especially when literally everybody is saying... Like if it was to say that something was bad, right? And if, like, the majority of people are saying this thing is bad, and then you want to be the only person being like, well, I liked it. I think everybody's full of shit. And it's like, you wonder why people want to argue with you about it. And it's like... I just said don't take things personally, but a lot of people, like, they try to discuss this stuff, they try to have the dialogue, and then people get mad that people don't, people hit this thing like, oh, well, it's my opinion or whatever, and it's like, that's whatever, dude. You're allowed to have your opinions, but, like, don't get mad when you say your opinion out loud, and then you expect people to just be like, okay, bro, you're right, and that doesn't happen. You know, not everybody is right all the time. I've definitely been wrong in a few places here and there. And it's whatever, bro. If you enjoy it, just enjoy it. still, I'm kind of just getting into like us having casual attitudes about this shit versus the whole thing about like the how the professional industry works for that kind of shit. But that's why I'm not a professional. You know what I'm saying? I do this shit because I fuck with it. I like talking about stuff sometimes. I like to be able to break stuff down. I like telling people every little detail I can pay attention to. And that's why I don't put out reviews the same week a game came out, because I need a little more time than that. Anyway, back to what I was doing, right? Right, at that point what you're doing is looking for justification on what you think, but bottom line is you do you. Absolutely. Like, again, we was already mentioning it, but like there was plenty of hype around Cyberpunk. There was all that fucking drama about it. And at the end of the day, if you wanted to play that game and if you wanted to enjoy that game, that's all you. But at the time, don't act like I'm treating you like a piece of shit because I didn't feel like spending my money on it. Like, that's not what we were doing here. You can actually play whatever you want and do whatever you want. But I just feel like sometimes, especially, you know, when it's not people's job to be critical, you keep getting a person pester you about channel catalyst. What are you talking about? But what was I saying? Damn it, I lost my train of thought. No, so at the end of the day, it's like I feel like sometimes people forget that, especially when you think of a critic, it's their job to critique. So sometimes they do have to go out of their way a little bit to point out things that other people might not necessarily care about. And acting like that is also your job and you're having the same level of conversation they're having about it, I think there's a lot of disconnect with that. There's like a very prominent dissonance when this conversation happens. Sorry, so again, what's a channel catalyst? What are we talking about? Manny bead. Critical hit chance, huh? In a chilled state. I'm not trying to get cold just so I can have a higher crit chance. You're gonna catch these bonks all the same. even know what the hell is causing that. I don't know if this person is who they say they are. They call themselves a 36K follower Twitch streamer asking me to think about channel catalyst as a form of reaching out. It's a scam, bro. Just block them. It's the same thing as a bot popping up in your channel talking about buying viewers. Oh. Brother. Oh, excuse me. Today is going to be the last day for 2 jobs for the same area. Well, shit, man. Knock it out. And then get a nice big resting. Refined iron shard. I don't know what you talking about, big dog. Am I not supposed to be able to climb this? What? The invisible walls, I tell you. They're closing in. Finally, a save point. Oh no, a big guy. That's a lesser Yao Guai? Get the fuck out of here. They're trolling hard. Yo, this is getting insane. I don't like it. Oh, wait. I think I can upgrade my weapon if I didn't already.